Foundation laid for the development of sport tourism on the island. Sport infrastructure improved. Jamaica retains its #1 ranking in press freedom in the Western Hemisphere and strategic response to Ebola and chikungunya viruses. Some of the major achievements in 2014 for the sport and information portfolios in the Office of the Prime Minister. Increasing the contribution of sport to national development was high on the agenda for the Office of the Prime Minister in 2014. Aligned to government's strategic priority of job creation and economic growth, the division made major improvements to the island's sporting infrastructure.
Let us now have light.
$2.7 million was pumped into floodlights to support the staging of night matches at Sabina Park. The stadium complex also received a facelift in 2014. $31 million went towards a new filtration system at the stadium pool, and the Leela Robinson netball courts were refurbished to the tune of $23 million. $8 million worth of upgrading works also started at the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium. At the grassroots level, government continued to expand the high school sport infrastructure improvement program with a $12.5 million irrigation system at the Tarrant High School in St. Andrew.
The upgrading of high school sports facilities addresses the long-term development needs of sport in schools, communities, and nationally, ultimately safeguarding our future in sport.
And work began on a $1.5 million running track at the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport. When completed, the track is expected to receive IAAF certification. In October, the sport unit partnered with the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment on the Jamaica Sport Initiative. It's aimed at taking a bite out of the sports tourism market.
The launch of this initiative really is the synergy between sport and tourism. And we are very clear on what sport and tourism can do to contribute to Jamaica's GDP.
Capacity building was facilitated through the Beckworth International Leadership Development Build Jamaica program. Under the partnership, over the next 4 years, 600 young sports leaders will receive training. Athlete welfare was also promoted in 2014. In October, it was announced that a policy to safeguard children in sport was being crafted.
The safety of our children must come first, ladies and gentlemen, before medals, before records, before points, or any other consideration.
In April, a 4-year, $10 million agreement gave athletes representing the country at international meets access to free heart checks. And the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission, JADCO, conducted several education and sensitization workshops to inform athletes and stakeholders about the Anti-Doping in Sport Act. Through its new comprehensive website, JADCO provided timely updates on safe medication for athletes affected by the chikungunya virus. And to meet the revised World Anti-Doping Code, in June the Commission received guidance and technical support from its Canadian counterpart. Government stayed true to its open communication policy, and it paid off in 2014. The island retained its first-place ranking in the Western Hemisphere for press freedom.
Jamaica has progressive legislation which enhances press freedom and which empowers journalists to carry out their work without fear.
In October, Minister responsible for information, Senator Sandria Faulkner, was appointed to chair the National Ebola and Chikungunya Viruses Response Team. The team was allocated $500 million to mount a public education campaign and carry out cleanup exercises across the island.
One of the reasons why the Prime Minister pulled together the National Response Team is so that we could pull together all the different supporting agencies of the government, pull together the necessary financial resources so we can quickly resolve the matter. We will give you weekly updates.
Government's strategic priority of mainstreaming gender in development was bolstered in 2014. In May, the Bureau of Women's Affairs facilitated the training of 30 women from the Jamaica Household Workers Union. They received training in advocacy, negotiation, proposal writing, and mediation.
You will need these skills if you are to more effectively negotiate improved working conditions, increased access to resources, and improved professional standards.
In January, the Women's Center Foundation secured $9,000 from the Venezuelan government to expand its services to teen mothers. And to further push the protection of girls, Minister Faulkner promised to push her colleagues to raise the age of consent from 16 to 18.
If you cannot vote until you're age 18, you cannot drink, you cannot legally drink until you are age 18, why then should our 16-year-old girls or boys be allowed to have sex and without consent? And I don't even think they should be allowed with consent, because at that time, they are not equipped to make decisions.
The office of the Prime Minister continued on a path of sustained growth and development in 2014, a mission to deepen the contribution of sport to national development while making information more accessible and protecting the most vulnerable in society.